welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda Myris, and on this channel, this is where I discuss all things business, marketing, branding, and different tips and tricks to help you build your dream life and career. I post new videos every week. Today, I'm going to be discussing goals. Everybody has goals. If you don't, you should set some goals. It's sometimes hard to keep track with your goals or to check those goals off of the list to accomplish those goals. So I'm going to teach you different ways and tricks that you can crush any and every goal that you set for yourself. If you like this video, or if this video helps you, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. I do post new videos every week. If you want me to discuss a certain topic, or if there's something that you are interested in and you want to know how to do it, I do show how-to videos, like different things if you want to check out my other videos. Alright, so one way to start crushing your goals is to write them down. Physically write them down. I know people say, oh, I already know what my goals are. But you should really write them down, just because putting it on paper just makes it that much more real. It makes it so you see it, you're not just envisioning it, it's physical, it's real, it's not just something you're thinking about. And it might just help you put it out there, and you are that much closer to accomplishing that goal. So that's the big thing, is writing it down. It helps me a lot. I write so many things down. Once you write it down, make sure you read that list often, because there's stuff that you might forget, or it might have the motivation to do it just by thinking about it. But as soon as you read that list, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, let me do this. I know I can do this. I know I can accomplish this goal. And so seeing it makes it more real. Reading it often helps you to know that that goal is achievable. Speaking of achievable goals, you need to set small, sustainable goals. So you don't want to set an unrealistic goal. I'm in this Facebook group, and somebody was like, planning on getting 1 million Instagram followers by the end of the year. And it's like, they had less than 1,000. Like, I'm not knocking them, like, good for you, set those high goals, but it has to be realistic. So set small, sustainable goals if you need to. Like for me, I set bi-weekly, monthly, yearly, 3 years, and 5 years. When I do bi-weekly, it's always the 15th of the month where this goal needs to be finished by, or these lists of goals need to be finished. And I'll go through those lists often, those goals often. And by doing this, it helps break those goals into smaller, sustainable goals, and it's like the snowball effect. Once you hit the small goals, and then it's a bigger goal, it's a bigger goal, it's a bigger goal. And so it doesn't matter how small your step is, as long as you're taking that step and you're moving towards that goal. Because you could take, say you think you only took 10 steps, but if you take those 10 steps every single day, pretty soon you'll have a mile. And so you have to realize that you can't just think like, oh my gosh, I want to earn $1 million a year. Okay, so what are you going to do to get to that $1 million a year? You have to take small, sustainable steps and small, sustainable goals to get there. So, and then another reason why giant goals isn't a good idea, because then you'll start putting pressure on yourself, and it might distract you, and it might make you not want to do it, discourage you, and you might lose interest, you might get bored, you might be like, oh my gosh, this is never going to happen, and then you just give up. So this setting small, sustainable goals also helps you to not give up on your goals, and it helps you to reach them quicker. Another thing, which is huge, and this isn't just for goals, this is for business, this is for life, this is for fitness, this is for everything. You need to stay consistent. Consistency is a big thing in everything in life. If you want to lose 100 pounds, but you only work out once, and then you only eat healthy 1 day a week, and then all the other days you're eating junk food, that's not consistency. That's not going to help you reach these goals. So you need to stay consistent. And whether it's wanting to hit a certain target on your social media, whether it's wanting to hit a certain rank if you're in like network marketing or something and you want to hit a certain rank in your company, if it's a business goal and you want to hit a certain amount of sales by the end of the year or the end of the quarter, you just have to stay consistent. So for me, I always, like, my biggest thing with not staying consistent is my social media. My business Instagram am terrible with staying consistent, and it's something I've been working on. It's been getting better. So ways that you can go around it is use technology to help you. You can download apps, like for social media, there's apps that will automatically post for you. You can get a virtual assistant or an in-person assistant if you have the budget. And then also time blocking. Time blocking is a good way to help with time management, and it also is a good way to stay consistent in your business. Time blocking for me, I'll do certain, depending on the week or the day, I do certain tasks per day. Say Friday, I do content creating or photo shoot for my fashion brand or something like that. And then I do time blocking on those days. So Fridays is content creating. I need to be finished making this video by this time. I need to post on Instagram at this time. So I time block by the day, and then I break it down and do it by the hour. Depends, honestly, like I could work on my website for more than just 1 hour out of the day. But for like YouTube videos, I need to make a video, and then I need to work on editing the video and stuff like that. So time blocking is a big thing. They have apps. I'm not sure what the name of the app is, but they have, and you can set timers on your phone, but they have apps where it'll automatically buzz and be like, okay, it's time to go on to the next task. These apps are really good because it also helps you stay on track. So if you get distracted, like a notification go off on your phone, and then you start scrolling on social media or something that's time wasting, these apps will help you keep track of your time because it helps you to not get distracted by these easy distractions. Also, another thing is don't be afraid, like with these goals, most of the time you're a solopreneur, so you're the one doing social media, website, everything, like you do everything. But by doing this, sometimes it's harder for people to ask for help. I know it's really hard for me to ask for help. It's always been an issue, but I'm working on it. Ask your friends, ask your family for help to help you reach these goals. You never know. I'll give an example that happened recently. On my Facebook page for my fashion brand, I set bi-weekly goals, and it was the end of the month. And I was 1 like away from hitting my month-end goal. It was literally the last day of the month. And I made a post on Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the last day of the month. Can somebody please go like my business page so I can hit my one of my month-end goals? And yeah, people did. It's like, it's not a hard thing to ask, but it means a lot. By the end of the day, I ended up having like 10 past my goal or something like that. So by asking people, it helps people to feel comfortable, because once you ask somebody for something, they feel more comfortable and they feel like, oh, I can ask her for something, or oh, like I can help her. And then it just like, I don't know, usually people like to help people. So by asking people, they're like, oh, okay. And then it also helps you reach your goal, and depending on what that goal is, you might go past your goal. So earlier I said I set bi-weekly, monthly, 3-month, yearly, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. But with the later goals, you need to be careful with what you set for later goals, especially because usually when you set later goals, it's like, oh, I want to be married by this age, or oh, I want to have kids by this age, I want to own a home by this age. And by doing that, yeah, that's good to do, because then it helps you like set your life on track, like you focus on that 10-year goal, and then you like, it helps you keep track of everything from now until the 10 years. But if by the 10th year gets here and you're not married, it might really devastate you. Or you're getting close to those 10 years and you're still not married, you don't have a significant other or anything, you might start being hard on yourself, you might like get a little desperate or whatever. So you have to be careful with setting the bigger goals. Like make it realistic. Like I said earlier, you have to set realistic goals. And if you don't reach your goal in the time that you wanted, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't settle if it's like your goal is coming close and you're not there yet. Don't settle on just so you can say that, oh, I'm married or something. Another really good way to reach goals is to count down. So if you want to make, I don't know, say you want to have $10,000 in your savings account by the end of the year. What I do is I'll take the $10,000 and I'll divide it by 12, And so I'll be like, okay, I need to save this amount of money per month so I can have $10,000 in my savings account. So once I get that number for how much money I need to save a month, I'll divide that number by 4, so then I get the number of how much I need to save a week, and so then it helps you. And then I'll do it by the day, so I need to save this amount of money a day in order for me to have $10,000 saved in my savings account by the end of the year. And by doing this, it helps you to have small, sustainable goals. It helps you keep track of those bigger goals, and it makes it more realistic, and it makes it so it doesn't seem so bad. So instead of being like, oh, I need to save $800 a month on top of all of my bills, I need to put over $800 a month into my savings account, it's like, oh, okay, so I need to save $30 a day. So it makes it more realistic and more attainable, and it's not as scary. Once you start hitting these goals, make sure you celebrate, like, oh, I worked so hard on this goal, but then you don't celebrate. It's like, oh, okay, so like, everybody loves gratification and they love to feel accomplished and everything, but by not celebrating, you're kind of just like pushing yourself, I feel, too far or too much. And it's like, once you hit that goal, you don't celebrate, you don't do anything, you just go on to the next goal. And it's like you can drain yourself and you can run yourself down. For me, I launched my fashion brand website less than a year ago, but I didn't have a launch party once I launched my website. And it was always my dream to have a launch party. And then one of my friends was like, how come you've never had a launch party? You need to celebrate, and you need to do this and have a launch for all of the hard work you did, because I made that website by myself, and then I didn't celebrate it, I didn't do anything. I was just like, okay, here's my website, on to the next goal. But no, he was right, and I was like, you're so right, I need to have a launch party. Like, I worked so hard on this, and I did it myself. I taught myself web design, I taught myself graphic design, I did it all. And I'm like, okay, so I had a launch party. And by having a launch party, it made my brand go up even more, because there were so many people that came. There's bloggers, photographers, magazine editors, all of these people that came. I ended up making a lot of sales, and then it just felt so good. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like, I made my website, and it's here, people see it. I had a runway show. It was great, but you need to celebrate. Even if it's not like a huge launch party and like you rent out the space, you can take yourself to go get some ice cream, you can buy yourself a new pair of shoes, or go on a trip or something. You just need to celebrate and be like, I did that. Like, I hit the goal, I stuck to it, I was consistent, and I did it. So make sure you celebrate. Pat yourself on the back. So another way to hit those goals are, you have to step out of your comfort zone. If you want to be higher in your business, if you want to grow, if you want to make more money, whatever you want to do, you need to step out of your comfort zone, because obviously where you are now, it's not where you want to be. So by doing the same thing you're doing now, you're not going to get to where you want to be. So you need to do other steps, you need to change things up a bit. Stepping out of your comfort zone helps you grow, it helps you achieve bigger things, it pushes you to your limits so you know what you can handle, what you can't handle, and it helps you discover more things about yourself. Like, for me, I have the hugest stage fright. Like, I am the worst with stage fright. My palms sweat, my face gets all red and flush, and I like start stuttering. That might be a shock, but it's true. It's been bad ever since I was a kid. Like, another example was for my launch party. I knew I had to make a speech, and there was going to be a lot of people there, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, like, can someone talk for me? Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I was so scared. And so I started going to public speaking classes. They offer free classes on Meetup. And I went to, I don't know how many I went to, but I went to a few different people that were hosting them. And it really helped me, because I was like, all right, so I don't have an issue. Sometimes I'm afraid to even speak a classroom setting. It's just like me standing there and all the attention is on me. It's so scary. Like, I used to be extremely shy even in front of the camera. So I knew I had to get over it, because there's certain things I want to do in life, and you can't have a fear of public speaking with the things that I want to do. So I was like, okay, I took these classes. I was like, all right, let me what's another way to help you get over your stage fright? And they said, talking in front of a camera. So hello, I started this channel. But it took me out of my comfort zone, and it's just, that's what you need to do. Like, you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to do stuff to better yourself. And also, by stepping out of your comfort zone, you'll be proud of yourself that you actually did it. I was so proud of myself once I finally made that speech. I was nervous, yeah. The day of the launch party, I was almost like, no, somebody talk for me. I was this close of telling someone to talk for me, but I was like, no, I'm gonna be upset. People need to know, it's my brand, it's my fashion brand. I put this whole thing on myself. Yeah, I took a step out of my comfort zone, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Also, another thing I would say would be, once you start doing small attainable goals, it's like the snowball effect. So once you start hitting these goals, they'll continue to hit them, and you'll get to the point where you need to up it. So when I do my bi-weekly goals, I'll do like, I need to have this amount of followers by May 15th. I need to have finished this by May 15th. I need to finish this, I need to do that. I need to have this many subscribers, blah, 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 blah. So I do a whole list of stuff. But by the time, if you still stay consistent and you do what works for you, you'll find out what works for you. If you do what works for you, you'll start hitting these goals way before your target. So this month is May. For me, some of the goals that I set for May 15th, I had hit on May 1st. And so I'm like, all right, so obviously what I'm doing is right, and I need to up it. Like, I need to make the goals higher, because it's the snowball effect. And at first, it's like, like I said earlier, 10 steps a day, it equals a mile. So once you hit that mile, and it's like, okay, 10 steps becomes easy, up it to 15, up it to 20 steps. So you need to, once you see that you're staying consistent and these goals are actually working and it's hitting, then up it, because you can get to your final goal quicker. And then it just also takes you out of your comfort zone. Everything I'm saying, it's all circling back. So it all connects to each other. Those are just some things that I randomly thought of to help crush your goals and to help take your business, your life, your career, everything to the next level. I hope this helps you, and if you have a goal that you are trying to reach, put it in the comments, let us cheer you on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I post new videos every week. And if you're on Instagram, give me a follow, AmandaLynn121. Thanks. Bye guys.